What's crackin', figure freaks? How you doing? I hope you're doing great. Gingervitis75, your blue collar collector, coming at you with another action figure review. Today we're doing the Marvel Legends Executioner Build-A-Figure WARBOW action figure review. This will be the second figure that I do from this wave. I just did Werewolf by Night, and then I got the Dark Avengers Spider-Man coming up. Not sure if I'm going to grab any of the other ones. I do want to complete the Executioner Build-A-Figure, so somehow, some way, I will figure it out. I'm thinking I might order Enchantress on Amazon and get her in a matter of a couple days, just because I want to update my Enchantress. I got the old one from, I think it was like the Dormammu Build-A-Figure from probably like almost 10 years ago, but she's still standing. She's up on my Secret Wars display. She hasn't fallen over yet, and she's got those heels, so I'm not sure if I do need an update, but I sure do like those pinless elbows and knees, and the new kind of sturdier buck for the women. They just seem to stand a lot better, so I might grab her. Enough about Enchantress, though. Let's talk about WARBOW. In this box here, we do have the arm and two hands of the Executioner in the box, and of course we got a nice little piece of artwork on the side of the box. There is WARBOW with his crossbow and eye patch, and we got the rest of the wave down here that we just kind of talked about. I don't care about that Iron Man or the Phantom Rider. The Wolverine is a maybe, as is Enchantress. So the rest of them I got. We have a little write-up here. WARBOW fights alongside Crystar, Prince of Crystallium, as captain of the Royal Guard, defending their world against the forces of chaos. And that's the Magma Men, I guess. They defend, I think it was like, after Crystallium, it becomes Weird World, I think, and that was part of a Secret Wars storyline. But anyways, we'll get more into all that stuff later. Here we got WARBOW, and you see he's got some alt hands. He's got his crossbow. Let's open this bad boy out and see what WARBOW is all about. All right, out of the box, let's get in the accessories, because he actually has accessories, unlike Werewolf by Night, which came with nothing, except for the Build-A-Figure pieces. And so here we have the right arm and right graspy hand of the Executioner. So he'll be holding that big ol' axe in this hand more than likely. And then we also have the kind of open grabby hand as well, all in blue. Big ol' arms. He's got the single jointed elbows, but as I said before, he's got some big, beefy, shredded arms. All right, and on to WARBOW. We will show off his alternate hands. We got the grabby hands or grasping sea grip hands here, all in that green crystal kind of look. Very nice. Been getting a lot of translucent action figures lately. Here is his crossbow, and this is a pretty cool design. I like this little loop here so you can put his wrist through, and then he can grab this. The arrow does come off. Just gotta grab it here, and boom. Now we have this big old long tab that just wedges into the top of the crossbow like so. Snaps in pretty good. Actually, very nice looking. I do like this a lot. Moving on to the figure. He's got this little bandolier here. I believe it would come off if you really wanted it to. I don't know if this is where he gets his arrows. Let's see, can we get this off? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, yep. There we go. So, same buck as Crystar, because we got this little design here on the chest, at least for the upper torso. I'm thinking everything is the same here, though. It looks like the same boots, same everything. So I'll bring in Crystar here in a little bit. Let's get this thing back on. Snap. So yeah, up on his head there, he's got that eye patch. Strap goes all the way around. Let's see, a little bit of a bobble there. We got the 360 on the head. Shoulders go up about like that. Goes all the way around, even with this in the way. We got that double jointed elbow, pinless. So I don't know if they'll be making too many more Crystar figures, but if they are crystally, they're probably gonna be using the same exact buck. All right, we got the pivot and the twist on the wrist. We have that stomach crunch, waist swivel, hips go out like that. Wow, he does some nice splits there. Thigh cut, double jointed knees, pinless of course. No boot cut. And then of course we got that tilt and the pivot on the ankle rocker. So looking pretty nice. And I'm happy to get some accessories because that Werewolf by Night had nothing. Nothing came with him, no extra hands, no nothing, no spare heads. They should have gave us at least something. Something, like an extra head, I don't know. Would have been nice. But let's get this guy geared up with his crossbow and check him out further. Now, if you're gonna tell me, out of all the figures in this wave, between Werewolf by Night and WARBOW, if you told me that I was gonna like WARBOW more than Werewolf by Night, I would have called you crazy. I would have laughed and spit in your face and probably kicked you in the balls and laughed at you some more and then maybe pooped on you. No, I wouldn't have done any of that. But yeah, I wouldn't have believed it. And it's exactly what it is. I like WARBOW. He is a better figure, even though he is just a reuse of mostly what we got with Crystar. Same boots, same feet, same legs, same torso, and same arms. So everything is pretty much the same. He's just got the bandolier here, and the head, and then different panties and a belt. So, but basically the same exact buck, and it is very true to the comic book look. So this is dead on for a WARBOW that you saw in the comics in like the 80s. He has gotten some updated looks. Let's throw a fist on here. See how he looks. He's gonna throw a punch. Oh, you know what? He's only got the one fist and it's for the right arm, so this slappy hand is going back on here. There we go. Maybe here's like, halt. So, WARBOW is from Crystalium, or the Crystalium Kingdom, and it is part of Earth 616. It's just a different planet, a different realm, kind of like Asgard. But, you know, Thor and all those guys really are integrated onto Earth. They, you know, Thor is on the Avengers, so he is closer to the Earth 616 story arcs. This guy is kind of in a realm all of their own. He is known as part of the Galax Royal Guard, and he is actually a close friend to Crystar. And this kind of makes me think of, like, what are we going to get going forward? Are we going to get a Moltar? Are we going to get a Koth? Are we going to get a Calabar? Let me, after this segment, I'm going to throw up a picture of WARBOW, God, I can't say, WARBOW, and also a bunch of the characters from an old little banner. I think it was like it basically just shows a bunch of the main characters, so it would be nice. I think Moltar, who is one of the Magma Men, he is like the lead villain, I think. But I think he would be pretty darn important to be made, so I bet you he's probably up next. And maybe they'll quit there, but that's kind of all I know. I knew Crystar, I knew who WARBOW was, and I knew who Moltar was, and that's it when I was a kid. So maybe they'll stop with those three, but I think they just need that villain to fight WARBOW and Crystar. And speaking of Crystar, let's bring him in for comparisons. Boom. So he's a little bigger than WARBOW, but as you can see, all the same stuff, same exact boots. You get the little diamond emblem at the top of the boot there. Same exact shit, just a different color. Same with those legs. They probably have the same shorts, but then the belt is different. Up here, you got the little crystal on there. Same exact chest piece here. Same arms. WARBOW just doesn't have the gloves. So, pretty wicked. I gave Werewolf by Night a 5. This guy is going to get a 6. I believe I gave Crystar a pretty high rating. Now, this is just kind of a, I guess, repaint or remold. It's the same mold, it's just a different color. Yeah. Do I want to go 6.5? Nah, we'll just leave it at 6. He's pretty basic, a lot of remake, remold, but just still very nice and sturdy. There's no gumminess. Actually, the limbs are like rock hard, I guess you could say. So maybe it's real crystal. I don't know. But all right, let's bring out a few more guys. That's what I got for you. So we got a 6 out of 10. Decent figure. I'd give him a thumbs up. If you're into Crystar, I would recommend grabbing this guy. And here we have the old figure from the 80s. This is Moltar, sworn enemy to Crystar and WARBOW, one of the Molten Men. And then we have a nice little banner here with a bunch of the Crystar figures. I don't know if I see any of these other figures being done. Alrighty, so here we have WARBOW and Crystar with a bunch of other characters that kind of, I guess you could say, separates themselves from the heroes of the 616 from Earth. you know, just different storylines. I think Blade might be one of them, but I just got Dracula. You know, Dracula's kind of his own thing. He does come in and out of storylines with like the X-Men and Blade and sometimes the Avengers. But I don't know. He's his own entity, as is Death's Head. He kind of did his own thing. Rom was always out in outer space, associated with the Avengers, the X-Men, Silver Surfer every once in a while. And then, of course, we got the Man-Thing, who was kind of out in the swamps doing his own thing. And, of course, we got Werewolf by Night. So these are just a few characters that I think that kind of just, they stay away from the superhero stuff, you know. They're their own thing. It's kind of like Amethyst with DC, you know. She didn't associate with Superman, Wonder Woman, but I think they kind of later on integrated them and mixed them up so that, you know, they met, they had some adventures together. That always happens, but these are just some characters that are like, I don't know, they're interesting on their own. So they're kind of standalone. I think some other characters that I think could fall into that category is like Archon, and then of course Conan, who is a big Marvel character, and you know, unfortunately he was a Marvel character, and then somebody else got him, and then he came back a few years ago, was part of the Savage Avengers storyline when they were going up against Kulan Goth, and I was hoping that we would get a Conan figure, but it didn't happen. So I ordered just the other day, actually, from Big Bad Toy Store. I didn't get two of them like Shartimus, but I did order the Hacks boss fight Conan, which looks really good. And then there's the female, I can't remember her name. They had Red Sonja last year, and then another character that comes out at the same time as Conan. I can't remember her name, but just a beautiful figure. So if you want, check out Entertainment Earth or Big Bad Toy Store. I don't have the links in the comments below because I don't do that shit. At least not yet. So, yeah, I will get that Conan, that boss fight Conan. I hope he's not like overly tall. I hope he kind of fits in the 6-inch range. If he's 7 inches, okay. But he looks cool. And I just kind of want to do a Savage Avengers display, you know, play around with them and have them up on my Marvel shelves, because I grew up reading Conan, who was, you know, had a title for Marvel Comics. So anyways, cool group of characters. Hoping we do get Moltar, and I think that's all we really do need. I don't see anyone being popular enough. I mean, Crystar and Warbow and Moltar are questionable, I would say, but I think they are reasonable offerings. I think that Crystar is super cool. Like, this figure was one of my favorites of last year. So, and I did have Moltar as a kid, and I'll throw his pictures up at the end of this segment as well. So we got a 6 out of 10 for Warbow. Decent figure. I actually do like his crossbow. All that translucent, gleaming green goodness. So he's pretty tight. So, yeah, I do like him. So, proud to have him, and nice addition to the shelves. So I hope you guys liked this review. I think it was pretty brief. So, hopefully I didn't bore you guys too much. Next up, we're going to do the Astonishing X-Men Beast from the mini comic wave, and that'll be coming up next. And then we're going to do a Inhumans 2-for-1 extravaganza, where all 4 of those figures are going to be reviewed in one video. All right, guys, We'll see you on the next one. All right, peace out. I appreciate everything. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you feel motivated to, inspired to, I appreciate it nonetheless. All right, take care. Bye.